Okay, again, I'm just gonna offer some information and observations. Great job. You know, you're giving him food, you're walking nicely together, and so with your hand, one thing I would say is your left hand, your brake hand, you wanna hold your hand this way instead of this way, because we can break loose. It's our hands are weaker when we're holding it this way. So hold it this way. Now look at his body, okay? Look at his body. So his tail is crooked. See that kink in the tail? That means that he's feeling conflicted. He's focusing across the street. You're looking back and forth, which is fine. You're gonna get better at observing what's happening in the environment, and then also, you know, going back and forth, looking at what's happening in the environment, looking at the body language. That noise is disturbing him. It causes trigger stacking. See how he just shifted his head? The noise, he looks back and then swings back. He looks up for reassurance. You give it to him, which is beautiful. Great work. Help him to feel safe. That's important. So here, food, nothing would matter. What would be more assuring to him is your voice and touching him. Now, think about trigger stacking, and I talk about the concept of trigger stacking in a lot of the presentations, in the communication presentation, in the one that I go over, the 4Fs. So he's trigger stacked. So what happens is, is it here? Okay, go over there, and then okay, we go over there. Now he's already trigger stacked. He's trigger stacked from all the noise of the traffic, and we continue to see this. I suspect that the pulling on the leash is happening when he's frustrated or afraid, and obviously distressed. So how can we decompress him? How can we decompress him? Well, we're kind of limited without something to buffer him, some kind of medication. Again, I'm not suggesting at this point. We want to see if we can shift that behavior, but perhaps we could bring a toy that he could then hold in his mouth to help give him some security. So he tips, yes, you're giving him food, but food's not working. Food's not going to work here because he's already over threshold. He gets over threshold, I want to say here. I'm getting closer to the noise from the traffic, the movement of the traffic. That's scary. Remember, his perspective is much lower than ours, right? You can see his body language. His tail is crooked, shifting to the side, his ears going back. He looks up, oh, and then he has the noise caused him to, he looks up for assurance. Okay. So here, what I would do is, what we could try to do is maybe back up and touch him, right? Touch him, stay close to him, get a little bit closer. Touching has been shown, it's one of the quickest ways to regulate the nervous system. So if we are calm, we can help buffer.
Reward.
Okay. All right. So then we're walking across, and I think he takes the food, and then he starts to, yeah, again, it's the noise that's causing that frustration. Okay. I wouldn't use a squeaky or bounce a ball to distract him. Maybe give him something that he could carry in his mouth. So if he likes to carry balls, that would be great. Or a toy that he could carry in his mouth, a long rope, or a toy that he likes to carry. Maybe you could bring out one of those chewies that I brought over that he loves, and pull that out when you're crossing the street. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there to see how he would do. I mean, you could see how he does. I'm not sure. And again, this becomes a little bit concerning because, you know, you can drop the leash. But he corrects himself. He's able to. Good, good, good. Great work, Jen. You got him to think, right? Thinking puts the brakes on emotions. And there he goes again. So what we want to do probably is, if we're able to get him to think, put the brake on the emotions, you ask for a sit. Alternative behavior, excellent, excellent work. You were able to break that emotional little meltdown. Go right into a touch. From here, I would go right to a touch, right? So stay, work him, work him, work him, go to a touch, right? To just get him to focus on another behavior that would then help decompress him. Okay, and I'm sure you stopped the video here because he was going a little bit bananas. All right. Okay, so we'll be looking at flowchart training, incorporating flowchart training as a way of just evaluating our decision points. And I would encourage you to take a look at that lesson. It's going to help us determine where, at what point should we be shifting our instructions, okay? And we could certainly use this video as a case study in evaluating our decision points. And I would suggest right after you're asking him for an SIT, which he was beautifully able to comply, puts the brakes on the emotions because he's thinking, he's using a different part of his brain. We just need to go into and asking him to do something else, and that would be the targeting. Target, touch, let's go. Yes, good boy. Touch, yes, good boy. Touch, yes, good boy. Until he starts to come down from that aroused state. Up and down, stress goes up and down. We're just trying to modulate it. And again, we're not using medication here. He's an adolescent. This is quite normal behavior for dogs that were not exposed to city life at an early age, before 3 months of age. All right, you're doing a great job. That was very good. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have questions.